who I really am. Just be cute and super bland. I try to hold it together, keep it together. Been playing it down, but I'm so getting tired. Now won't you meet high? 'Cause I've been feeling that crazy, and I need to lose control. So baby, put the record on, baby, put the record on, hit it. And I've been needing that crazy, and I gotta let it go. So baby, put the record on, I'm not gonna need that song, hit it. Monday came and swept away all the fun of yesterdays. But I'm gonna hold it together. This ain't forever. Need a shot and then a beat. Somewhere to let out some steam. I'm not the one to say never. Never say never. Been playing it down, but I'm so getting tired. Now won't you meet high? 'Cause I've been feeling that crazy, and I need to lose control.
The inside, good coverage again. Now Demarais comes up. The near line leading throw was potentially available, but not taken. Demarais looking back to middle, now up line again. No options, and Hugh Knapp didn't even need to lay out. He was right into that one, thrown towards him.
They've clearly done their homework. They know where these break throws are coming from, and they want to really push Moon.
Knapp to McHale, who's pulling double duty early, and nobody home that time. Alcott comes under, and Oczynski simply watches next to it to make sure there is no damage to be done. Youngers wanted the under a little bit earlier even, but still gets it. Oczynski picks up Demarais, and there's a pick just a little earlier on in that sequence.
Is Moon trying to recreate the space that they found so easily on the opening point, but struggling to really get things going in the short field.
Yeah, super tidy for 2 holds there, Lorgan, and our first interesting point. Not too far into this one.
I imagine we've got many more ahead of us.
Are our hearts ready for this?
Thank goodness it's the last game of the season.
Where's the defibrillator? Youngers sends it over to Demarais. Demarais back to Youngers, playing in the backfield. Those two have had a heck of a season together. Youngers throws high. Bigmans! Nice take. He's got the honey on the hands this morning. DeLuca to Youngers. Youngers wound up, now straight back center to Oczynski, and Youngers collects again. He hangs one up too high for Demarais, and that one's back in the hands of Clapham. McHale picks up and goes to Knapp. Knapp looking inside and gets the under from Long. Long fires McHale on the chase with separation. That's a break. Clapham strike first. Down comes the hammer.
And you can see how Clapham looking for those quick fire options. I mean, if you want to talk about what people would consider maybe the more standard Clapham approach, it's fairly conservative. They take their time, they retain the disc, they kill you with 1,000 cuts. That time it took about 3. McHale recognizing the space, and Clapham clearly not afraid to boost it. They get a turnover from it, but they also get the score, and showing that they are trying to grow what they can do so they don't get stymied. Brilliant shot. McHale in acres of space, timed his cut to perfection. He's able to just watch it into the breadbasket all the way down. As well, the way they were gumming up that inside space that Moon were trying to work through. Really great heads-up defensive play, a couple of fantastic blocks, and a very rare missed connection between Yonkers and Demarais. The wind ever so slightly bursting in, but for the most part, it's a beautiful, calm day here in Wrocław. You can also see they were swapping a couple of assignments on the key people, showing the trust that Clapham's D-line have in people's ability to match up. So Yonkers, obviously, you recognize him as a major threat. You want to try and limit him. You put the captain, Nathan Ragg, on. Makes a lot of sense to start the point, but then Josh Alcock also stepping up following a turn. The man originally from Devon, a fantastic defender in his own right.
Those sexy Devon fishmongers.
Monsters.
Oh, monsters, not mongers?
Honestly, I think I prefer that. We'll have to start calling him fish train.
Get their waders on. And that pole goes out of bounds. Yonkers will bring it in to the brick mark, where Hillman awaits. Yonkers to the mark. Finds Bakemans. Bakemans to DeLuca. DeLuca zips inside. Nice throw to get Demarais. Now Oczynski. Oczynski drops back. Yonkers again. Benjamin Yonkers finds Alessandro De Luca, the Italian import who's moved into Brussels. Oczynski to Marek. And Yonkers fakes the big, gives the under to Oczynski. Oczynski to the dump space again, finds De Luca. De Luca, Bakemans. Bakemans, quick up the line, bid on the hip, but no cash found on that. Mueller engages. He had Yonkers, then flips it out too high and taken away by Yo. Clapham looking strong in the early quarters here. Gardner goes to Rollage. Rollage gets a big gainer to the far sideline. Gordon to Hillman. Hillman inside to Alcock. Alcock sets sail. Rollage underneath. That's another break. And Clapham are firing early. We thought they might mean business, and that's the way they've come out of the gates.
Rollage getting the score. Traditional defensive player, has seen him make more appearances on the offensive side. A real bright spark, one of the few bright sparks in the European final for the GB national team, but able to get it done on both sides of the disc. You can see when Clapham are coming out initially on that D-line, they're playing almost a bit of an arrowhead zone, sagging off to an extent on the handlers, trying to stop the middle space of the pitch. That's to deny the initial look, the starting set plays that Mooncatchers might have drawn up, stop them from being able to get those deep options. Then they put them in this kind of a situation where they have to just throw 100 passes in the short field. They're waiting for any little bit of a mistake. Someone like Yo in the water, he smells the opportunity, he's going to bite your leg off. That time he gets high, takes it down, and then Josh Alcock with the big shot all the way to Rowledge. But you can see they want to limit the initial options, frustrate in the first 10 seconds, and then just tighten up as every pass goes on, waiting for that little mistake to come on the Mooncatchers' part.
Yeah, I mean, the first break, this is 3 in a row now for Clapham after a start. First break, they had multiple opportunities. That time, one given away, and Clapham's conversion looked really dangerous that second time. You've got it well assessed, Lorcan. They are just lurking after it gets into the small field. The Clapham defense looks scary out there.
You want to talk about on the offensive side as well? They are ripping it today.
Can Moon pull off what they did yesterday? It's early. There's lots of time. They're going to need to tidy up sooner than later, though. You do not want to be playing from behind too long against Clapham. Here is the Mooncatchers.
And you can see again they go with that zone, but what BFD managed to frustrate Moon with in the first half of the semi-final was by forcing them into those narrow channels through the zone, and Moon managed to come out in the second half. And Pierre Lam, their coach, was talking to us before this game. He said we just knew we had to get the width into it more. We had to open them up, find those hammer spots, find those scuba spots. So that throw over the top to Oczynski. That's got to be very encouraging for Moon.
Even though Butt gets a chop on Oczynski, that's why the stoppage, but we're back into play. Oczynski with the disc waits just a little longer for the Orlovsky cut to develop. Orlovsky's now to Deleuze. Deleuze had, Oczynski still has him. Victor Oczynski whips one into the guts of Orlovsky's. Orlovsky's fine, puts away that backhand. Looked like he was gonna deliver. Deleuze to Alessandro De Luca, Yonkers, and now Oczynski. Orlovsky's. Orlovsky goes wide. Too wide for Demarais, and another mistake.
That's 3 throwaways in a row, just off the Clapham pressure.
Knapp with a disc. Knapp goes up and rising to the occasion there, Modiano picks off a valuable reception, then inside to Martin. Martin at the midfield point. Modiano again. Oscar Modiano surveying upfield, no one in the dump space. Now Knapp comes back for a reset. Knapp, gainer to East, up the line. O-line defense working hard, but Clapham continue to generate. Knapp, and a timeout called. Clapham with a head full of steam right now, Lorcan.
Looking very strong, happy to recycle it all day long. That was a big part of what they did at Wimble before they adjusted their game throughout the rest of the season, and that's still something they can go back to when they need to in the red zone once the Hawk opportunities aren't quite as available. But that versatility, that consistency, so difficult to stop, and good luck to Moon as they are 3-1 down.
We're going to take a quick break and be back after these messages. We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it! Come on, Brad!
There are so many reasons to outfit your team in Force beyond just looking the part of a champion. Force offers professional design services with their dedicated graphics team. All apparel is produced in France. Force works with a local labour team and their raw materials are sourced in Europe. Force insists on transparency with no hidden fees and international express shipping. Look the part and play the part with Force Sportswear.
Back after the break. Great start if you are a Clapham fan. Not so much if you're a Moon fan. What do you gather the energy right now, Lorcan, in the start of this game?
That fatigue mentally more than physically, because it's been a few throwaways in a row. Very unlike them.
Let's see where we go from here. Knapp with the disc. Bouncing off that pivot foot to start up, then hangs one up towards the stack and gets away with one. Hillman picks it up, throws to Butt. That is another break on the board after the timeout. Make it 4-1 and a big old run. That's all 4 in a row. It was 1-0, Lorcan.
A monster grab from Daniel Hillman, making the granny proud. We know she's watching. And showing off for the fans back home. There was also a huge grab from Oscar Modiano, born in Santiago, in Chile, but showing that he can climb those mountains here in Europe as well to get some big discs. So it's a mixture of a few things, like some big grabs. Like you say, that was a little bit lucky for Clapham, but right now the luck is with them, and it's from the intensity and the focus that they brought into this game, and they're getting the rolls. Whereas if you're Moon, I mean, how do you say stop throwing it away? That's not really a strategic adjustment, is it?
No, I mean, let your cuts develop a little longer, or throw to targets that are coming closer to you or that have more separation. But still, like, they're throwing to the right targets. They're missing a bit. How do you make these adjustments? Sometimes substitutions, sometimes players need to have their own time. Whatever it works for. Coaches need to know their players and say, what do you need? You need to a slap in the face. You need to go talk to one of the intense guys. You need a little time in the corner on your own. Figure it out. Get what it is you
Figure it
need.
out.
Figure it out there, bud. And get what it is that you need, and come back out ready to play here, because Clapham, as a unit, have proved they showed up very ready this morning.
Yeah, the Frogs are in full throat, but it looks like it's Mooncatchers who are croaking.
Let's go to work.
Lorcan.
Let's go to work.
Poetic genius, this man. So, another kick at the can for this O-line. Bontemps has crossed over this time. Yonkers goes under, has Dan Demarais. That's a nice matchup to watch. Demarais and McHale, we'll keep our eye on that one. Demarais goes inside. Orlovsky's, Marek, DeLuca. No quick continuation, so he switches the field, goes back. Now Orlovsky's with the disc, surveying options, looking end zone only. Nothing in the backfield. Now Yonkers comes out, but doesn't need it. DeLuca. And Rolich cheats off in the lane and leaves Orlovsky's open. Orlovsky's finds the corner. Bontemps puts the toe down. And boy, oh boy, did the Mooncatchers need that hold.
When they need some serious action, that man, Sofiane Bontemps, is an assured X factor. He's absolutely incredible on the defensive side, but as we've seen Clapham do as well, swapping some of those power players over onto O is necessary. Orlovskis came on a few points ago and has stuck around. Bontemps as well, another one of those under 24 players that played with Demarais, that played with Yonkers. There's a few of them, Betancourt as well. Van den Broek was also on that team. So I think there's about 6 under 24 players. Yep, indeed, who are on this Mooncatcher side.
And we've noticed with a little bit of the Clapham D-line starting and leaving a D-line out early, there's been early crossover where we've seen Connor McHale already swap over for a line. We've seen Will Rolich. They're not waiting for a reason to shorten lines up a little bit. They are making sure they are putting on their power lines, their best players early, and they are taking this game by the horns.
Well, let's see how Mooncatchers respond, try to exert a bit of defensive pressure. The last time the Clapham O-line was out here, they literally two-man walked it into the end zone.
Here they come. Briggs leads, and it gets over the defense of Van den Broek in the hands of Ford, and now Wilson. Bump on the mark. Orlovsky's. Wilson looking upfield. Dumps back to the wide open Hillman. Hillman gets Abrams, far sideline, and we've got a stoppage. A bit of contact between Wallace and Meade. Ready to tap in. Here's Hillman, now gets Abrams. Far sideline for goal. It's Justin Ford. And Clapham back on the board. A offensive hold for this score. That makes it 5-2. And they not as easy, let's say, as that last time, the dominator that they walked in. But
it wasn't that much harder.
Yeah.
And you start to look at the matchups that the Mooncatchers are going with. Van den Broek is a fantastic defender, like I said, another one of those under 24 alum. But all he can do is sail through the air and watch that disc fly past him as it goes into the hands of Justin Ford. We know Briggs has never been afraid to take on big shots. And more than a decade under the influence, mum remains the word. The Abrams-Ford connection, foundational stone for so much success that Clapham have had. Let's just take a quick second to review the success Clapham have had. Champions in 2021, 2018, 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. 2010 is the last time they weren't on a podium. And of course, they won 2007, the second ever EUC in its current format, after coming second in 2006, the first ever EUC in its format. Comparatively, the Mooncatchers Came third in 2018.
What else? Oh, that's the only podiums. Here we are, back in action. DeLuca kicks things off. Demarais with the disc. DeLuca inside the Yonkers. Back and forth, those two. Now they get Demarais again, far sideline. Clapham lagging in the handling lanes right now. Yonkers. You hear the Hucker calls from the Clapham sideline. DeLuca goes up, 2 hands, looks upfield, and turns back to center where he gets Dan Demarais. Ben Yonkers gives the forwarding forehand to Orlovsky. Orlovsky goes back to Yonkers with a safe around backhand. In the middle, Demarais. Dan Demarais engaging to get Yonkers. After a look at Orlovsky's, now back and forth. Go Demarais and Yonkers. Yonkers now gets Marek pushing ever closer towards that goal line. Orlovsky's in the dump space. Orlovsky's. Little shoulder shimmy, puts it away, then finds Demarais on a practical reset towards that line. Marek looking to middle. This defense is tight, and what a pickup by Dan Demarais to keep it alive. Then sends deep. He's got Orlovsky's. Orlovsky's is still a mountain. He goes up for that one, takes it down. That's a bit of a spark.
When they need it, they hang that moon high. And then they try to jump over it. Orlovsky's taking that one down. Dan Demarais showing once again that he is not for the faint of heart as he makes that huge layout grab. Clapham cycling through defensive assignments as well. So far we've seen 4 players take on the Yonkers. Rag and Alcott previously. Both Modiano and Yo, as they had to swap. I think it was Yo initially, but then Modiano swapped on. So Clapham not afraid to pass responsibilities on these major players. You can see Yo wound up passing it on, so he would have to then pick up Demarais, which is, you know, swapping poison for nitroglycerin. But either way, they're trying to limit him. We're going to have another look at this incredible block. Or incredible catch even, and then firing.
And there's a look at Orlovsky's, who just finds his hand and the toe down in the back corner before a little head spike. So Clapham receiving their own end zone. Mead sees it to ground and then throws Hillman. Now Abrams. Conrad Wilson fakes the big backhand. Now inside, Andrew Hillman. Hillman goes wide and has Abrams. Abrams inside, Hillman gets another. Hillman continues up the field, far side, Rollage. Rollage has a little bump with Betrancourt, and they're gonna discuss.
I want to have a look at Andrew Hillman, of course. Big player for this O-line. Clapham all weekend long, currently being marked by Wallast, who was phenomenal yesterday in the semi-finals. One of the real defensive powerhouses that Mooncatchers can bring to bear as they try to get a turnover off this Clapham O-line.
And while they finish their discussion, love seeing so many of you joining us from home. Love to have you. Nice and easy to do, as I always remind you. Give us a like, subscribe, and become a patron. Why not? We love it. As we love this game, Rollage to Abrams. Abrams gets the under near sideline. Conrad Wilson. Wilson faking a couple times. Tight mark by Bontemps, but he gets around after a little bit of dancing. Mead back to Wilson. He gets it with 2 hands high. Sends it deep. Briggs is open. Betrancourt coming. Help defense as well. And the defense does just enough to get the first turn.
That's the first turn they've gotten on the Clapham O-line. There was only one other point where Clapham turned it. They turned it twice as a D-line. Wound up even scoring that point to go 2-1 up to get their first break of the game.
So first break opportunity
For Moon.
Mooncatchers. And that first throw goes away from everybody. Flying bodies through the lane. But the throw is not handled, and Clapham get it straight back. Mead goes around, okay, low, but picked up by Rolich. And Vandenbroek calls injury on the play. He's knocked his knee on something, but left knee being held, and he walks off gingerly.
That is a significant injury for Mooncatchers. Vandenbroek has been fantastic for them this season.
One of their top choices for player defense, match defense. He is a lockdown defender.
He's all around as well, because 6 assists, 6 goals so far this weekend. Just really bringing the heat for them. And of course, was phenomenal for that under-24 side.
Yes, very much so. That layout, that final in front of the end zone that didn't count. I remember it.
In our hearts it counted.
We all remember it. So Rolich with the disc, Oczynski on the mark. A couple of changes. McHale did change there too, the reciprocating substitution. Justin Ford leads and gets Wilson. Wilson, big fake. Going over the shoulder. Ford to Hillman on the doorstep now. Hillman widen around, and that one counts. McHale puts the feet down. The 88 shirt scores, and after giving away one chance, Clapham still get what they're after, another hold.
So Clapham turning on another deep shot that is what undid the D-line as well, but then immediately just clamping down, and Moon trying to take a flick. We've called it coffin corner, that uncomfortable position to be in. You're trying to fight your way out of it as we have another look. Clapham just doing Clapham things, cycling the disc. That is not an easy break throw, and not an easy catch either. Really great feet awareness, shall we say, the toe tap for the score. And Connor McHale came out ready to play.
Definitely did. He got on a plane one day before this tournament. He is posted out in Chicago this year. I think it's a 2-month, maybe 3-month stint with them. He is playing the season. They've qualified. He's got USAU Nationals coming up. But this was not going to be missed. He made sure he was back on that plane. And I think his Clapham teammates are pretty happy to have him here. He's had a heck of a tournament.
Well, as Clapham understand at the highest level, generally it's the teams who do the simple things the best win, and right now that's what they're doing.
Yeah, this is kind of classic Clapham style, what's happening right now.
A bit more Hawks, but yeah, certainly how the flow of the game is going.
DeLuca goes to Deles. Back to DeLuca. DeLuca hammers to Bakeman's. Bakeman's, nothing to shoot at right away. Now that's still nothing. Then Orlovsky's comes all the way under. Arvid, Zanis, Orlovsky's to DeLuca, now Yonkers. Yonkers fires up, gets Dan Demarais. Demarais back to Orlovsky's. In the attacking half now. Orlovsky's winding up, sends one deep. It's gonna hang. Muller's there, but Butt is in front, and Butt gets the tip away. Another D for Clapham.
That's a frustration shot. There wasn't even a cut he was throwing to. He just saw some bodies he trusted and was like, well, let's see if this works. Not at this level.
And there were not that many more options. Their recycling options were turning all too similar. They were well contested, tight in the dump space. Nothing really confident gaining to throw to. And that ends up being the result. And another chance to break by Clapham right now. This is a dominant looking first half so far. Knapp gets McHale. McHale inside, Ash Yo. Yo goes to McHale and back to Yo, and Knapp now. The D-line attack looking quick and efficient. Alcock with the disc.
Back to McHale and then leads Alcock again. Are they going to run a bit more of that dominator set? No, this time Mooncatchers able to shut it down.
Alcock goes up the line. Knapp is there. Knapp now meters away. Demaray on the mark. He still gets it around and goes to Yo. Yo looking for the backhand. Now flattens out and goes to McHale. Jabs up line. Defensive switch. Hugh Knapp again. Centered. Knapp goes wide. Alcock still not in. Had a look to see where that goal line was. Faked the under. McHale jabs to the backhand, then sneaks one in. Gardner not past the line though. Gardner still looking, gets Knapp. He does have the toes on the right side, or does he? No. Continuation. Now back to McHale. Now led for Yo, and the elevator shaft took that one way up. And I thought Orlovsky would have a chance, but it bode well for Clapham there, and Yo gets under for the goal.
And do you know why Orlovsky's didn't have a chance on that one, even though the wind busted up? Looked to me like he kind of gave up on the throw. And that is a systemic problem Mooncatchers are really going to have to address, because their heads look down, their hearts look a little bit flat. And Clapham, I mean, talk about Conor McHale, that whole team is a machine and they will grind you into dust. So understandably, the Mooncatchers take a timeout, try to reorganize themselves before Clapham steal away to a commanding halftime lead.
We'll take a break right now and see you after these messages.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Wait. Isn't this for the other apparel? We've got like new stuff, right? Bring it in. Feast your eyes on the new fan version of our iconic ULTI.TV sweatshirts. Great fan gear available for you. Check out our new range of colors and insist on staying warm and looking fresh. Shipping is available after EUCF. Get your fan gear and be one of us.
Would you look at those beautiful sweatshirts? Did you know that at the winner's party today, we'll be raffling off a couple too? If you're anywhere near Wrocław, maybe you're in the stands, walking your way to the stadium now, make sure you're at the winner's party, and if not, get online and order yourself one for home, Lorcan.
They're incredibly comfortable, as well as being very stylish. And in case you ever get confused, you know, people get fatigued at tournaments. Maybe some of the teams who are watching right now are a little fatigued themselves. But when all you have to do is look straight down and work out what stage of the day you're at.
I know what to do next. Let's see, second time out for the Mooncatchers. Have they sorted out their troubles with this Clapham defense? DeLuca with the disc. DeLuca faking. And again, Clapham D tight, Demaray. And that one ripped away! Ollie Gordon takes away another throw that Demaray left up. Now put up Gordon there on the other end. And just like that, halftime is taken 8-3. You have got to be kidding me.
Clapham are just a step ahead. Everything they do, they've got the distances sighted. They've got the Mooncatcher attack zeroed in. They're limiting, they are stifling, they are frustrating, and then when Ollie Gordon can just sprint and outstretched catch the disc, that shows you he didn't have to lay out, didn't have to bid, he just knew what was coming, when it was coming, and he put himself in between it. Mooncatchers almost need to do a wholesale readjustment during this half time, and I would say they're in some trouble if it wasn't for being in an incredibly similar situation yesterday. As we have another look, you got to feed Gordon. Even that shot in of itself is not something I would expect Clapham to traditionally throw. Maybe McHale, but it just shows you how they're trying to expand their own offense and get even more deadly, and it's working.
Yeah, they can't afford to get any more deadly than this. It is a slippery slope right now for the Mooncatchers. And welcome to the Tokai halftime show. Came a little quicker than we may have expected this time around, Lorcan. The first half of action, I mean, can we say it any other way than it's been all Clapham?
A little bit more of an opening point from Mooncatchers. Much smoother. They look like they were coming out in great form. That was it all on our side. Since then, it's been all
There's that's a Clapham turnover there. Yeah, they've been really good with their matchups, have Clapham, defensively speaking, changing it up on the star players. Orlovsky's got a couple looks, Demaray's got a couple looks. You see Demaray has had Martin, he's had all sorts. That's gonna be enough for our halftime show. We'll be back soon with second half action. And we're back. I told you we wouldn't be long. Mead is here. Up. Conrad Wilson has the disc. Bangs one up the line. Has Abrams. Abrams looks to middle but gets a little bit of a leader to Conrad Wilson. Wilson. And there's a turn. Vandenbroek steps into it, and they needed that. They're happy to have him back on the field, too. I'll tell you that much. Bontemps to Hoytenen. The Finn, and a stoppage on the play before Orlovsky's retains possession. That's a nice way to start the second half.
That's a mandatory way to start the second half if you want to have any hope of getting back into it. A quick hand block.
Hoytenen goes to Orlovsky's. Orlovsky's surveying options. Goes around and has Betrancourt. Now Abeltich. Hammered by Orlovsky's. Bontemps is there. And just enough out of Conrad Wilson, but didn't get it on the second effort. Oh my goodness. How is that possible?
I feel like that was up. We're going to have perhaps a little bit of a check. That's Moon doing what they're going for, and you can hear the crowd. What do they think?
The crowd, yeah, I'm not sure what the crowd thinks. That matters about as much as what we think, Lorcan, but we're having another look anyways. Here it is, slowed down. Wilson comes late. He did touch it, then Bontemps touched it. Did Bontemps keep it up? It's given on the field. That is a speculator. He definitely closed his hand on it, but is that control because he closed his hand on it and it touched the ground shortly thereafter? Kind of out of our frame. Doesn't matter. That's a break.
Very nicely done, and getting a little bit of that classic Moon style. Sofiane Bontemps with the grab. I felt like that was up the whole way. You know, sometimes people bobble them, and as you're bobbling it, it touches the ground. That means it's down. There's the ref Yonkers, of course. Wishes he could be out there, but he makes sure he's on that sideline, continuing to lead his team in whatever way he can. And right now, they need that emotional leadership.
We said yesterday there was a point in the game Moon had to be a bit more Moon. And at that stage, they started being a bit more Moon, and at that stage, they started clawing their way back into the game. I mean, I think that was just a little bit of a display of Moon being a bit more Moon out there, Morgan.
It all starts with one energizing play, and then you fight your way back into it. It's exactly what they did against BFD. Can they do it against Clapham?
Wow. Clapham O-line out for the second time in a row. Josh Briggs with a disc. Briggs goes under to Ford. Abeltinch on the chase on that assignment. Magnus Wilson comes under, and the other Latvian Orlovsky is draped on him. Ford fakes the up line to give some space in the dump. Now fakes the big. McHale comes under, 2 hands on it. McHale inside and gets it straight back from Abrams. Now puts it up. Rollage on the chase. Demaray gets a touch. Dan Demaray is coming alive now.
It seems like this Moon may be rolling. I feel like Rolich had a more than decent chance at getting that. Demaray just enough underneath it.
Wow. That he had no business being there running next to a man the size of Rolich and still said, hey, I'm here to do business. Vandenbroek gets it to Wallace. Wallace now to Bontemps. Sofiane Bontemps goes around and gets Abeltinch. Abeltinch puts it deep. Orlovsky's is there. McHale in front. And McHale rips it away. A little bit of bump getting up.
And I get the trust bomb to Orlovsky's, but McHale had the right angle the whole way.
Yeah, had way too good a position there. We've gone back and forth with the shorter, more athletic defender taking it away on both sides. Abrams. And we've got a stoppage. Wow, end-to-end action right now.
That should have been a hammer to Orlovsky's. It should have been.
Yeah, the angle would have helped it for sure. Would have kept it on the left side. You're right. And I mean for the fans too. Should have been a hammer, right? Back in play. Rolich goes up line. Ford drags the toe. Ford looks up line again. Now goes to center. Rolich is there. Rolich hangs one up for McHale. He takes it far sideline. McHale up high. And Abeltinch thought about it but had no line, and Magnus Wilson gets the reception. Now McHale goes center. Hillman's there. Hillman leads out in front. Rolich for another goal. And Clapham put one on despite giving it away.
And Moon will not get that many chances to get breaks. I mean, that's their third break opportunity on the Clapham O-line. That's only their first success in that regard. And then Clapham work it down the field. As we have another look at this shot. Fantastic job by Conor McHale to read where the disc is going, make sure he's on the right side of one of the best receivers on the continent. And then that was a perfect example of end zone dump swing drill, just ran to perfection. Rolich, all he has to do is run towards the front corner and collect an easy clap catch in what was a very intense moment. I'm sure you're able to pick it up on our field mics, but I wouldn't describe this as a home game for Clapham.
I think that's fair to say. There's probably a little bit more Belgian support in these stands that are slowly filling up. They will continue to fill up as the day goes. There's still some placing games going on outside the stadium right now. Those will be concluding. And, of course, women's up next, Shout versus Jinx. And to conclude the day of the mix, we've got Good taking on Deep Space. So Stay tuned for the whole day's worth of action. 3 finals right now. Yonkers and Desmarais kick things off. Now DeLuca. DeLuca goes to the far sideline. Bagman winds up, puts it away. Now DeLuca. Yonkers, Oczynski comes under and joins the handler party.
There's
Yonkers.
the melt.
Desmarais. And back to DeLuca. Dan Desmarais. Alessandro DeLuca and Moon are recycling towards midfield here for a handful of passes. They haven't been able to generate a major gainer. They are just churning up this middle section. Oczynski, nice around break that time. Finds Desmarais towards the sideline. Now Yonkers. There's a gainer, Bagmans, and Moon are into the red zone. Wide to Oczynski, hard working Victor Oczynski. He goes to middle. Alessandro DeLuca, and going wide now, Yonkers. Does he keep the toe down? The Clapham sideline says no, everyone agrees, and Martin runs to put it back into play while he's got separation. Knapp and a Clapham break line could really break the back right now if they can put another one in. Alcock to Rag, and now wide side to Knapp. Knapp goes up, gets Gordon near midfield. Gordon inside to Yo, and Desmarais breaks it up. Gets a hand on it. They needed that. They need every little bit right now.
That was a lifeline if ever there was one. Yonkers takes his time getting down there. For the record, that was another throwaway for the Moon turn.
Indeed, he put the block on it, but was thrown right into his hand. Marek then goes inside to Bankmans. Oh, a bid by Butt, but the hold off on the throw. Now wide side. Desmarais got a little bit of room. Pops back to the middle. Alessandro DeLuca. Look to go around with the backhand. Now back to the middle. High stall count now. He gets away with one to Oczynski, and a big collision between Marek and Butt causes the pick.
Working in those cramped spaces and just knocking into each other. As you can see, Mooncatchers still struggling to bring that kind of ease of swing and use of sideline space into their red zone offense in the same way that Clapham have. As we see Butt going off. I think a big part of the elite level that Clapham can bring to this red zone office is the standard of their trainings that they have every week. We know Moon, they've got a few people who come from further afield, such as the Latvians, and they play training weekends. Clapham, they train relentlessly throughout the whole season every week because they're able to just get it done in London. And even if you just look at some of the people who aren't on this Clapham team, they're absolutely phenomenal. They continue to push that level all the way up. Ian McInerney, Tyler East, Fraser Parks, Max Squires, Harry Ogden all help make Clapham as powerful as they are, and don't even come here to the tournament.
Crazy. It's a great system. I still remember their roster came out at the start of this year, 30 some odd deep. The roster requirement to get through a whole season, not for one specific tournament. So long discussion ended now. DeLuca goes to Yonkers. Fakes the hammer, goes to DeLuca. Yonkers again. Alessandro DeLuca. Yonkers is moving really well out there right now. Yonkers fakes the backhand, now the around backhand to Desmarais. Desmarais gives a defensive switch and he gets open. That's what he likes to do. Breaking ankles is what he says. Desmarais, hopefully for Moon, is coming alive. What a way to make a living, Lorcan. It's 9-5.
I feel like you will these score lines into existence, Steph. Fantastic move by Desmarais, attacking the back of Yo, and then with that little shoulder shimmy fake, he makes it seem like he's going to go back to the break side. He's going to do that classic 7-cut bounce right in front of the handler and set up the inside cut, inside throw even. an inside throw. The Clapham did a very good job shutting down in the early exchanges of this matchup. This time around, just look at that for the stutter step. Turns Yo around, and all Yo can do is he centers his eyes on the disc as watch it sail past him. There's still an awfully big gap, and that was an offensive hold.
That was a hold. It's just a hold, as the defense will often say. I mean, 9-5, what a way to make a living. Sets up well for the potential for Slurpee time as well in the future, you know?
I mean, it's the same points difference. Are you telling me you think these guys are going to trade out for the next 4 points?
I wouldn't hate it.
I think you'd be very alone in that position based on most of the vibes we're getting in this arena right now.
I probably wouldn't mind a little bit of extra black shirt scoring just to level things up a little bit here, but I am very well entertained. We will continue that one just in front of McHale, but picked up, he fakes the big backhand. Now over top gets Mead coming through the center of the field. Mead goes back to McHale, and McHale quick release to Hillman. This dynamic handler set dominating again. McHale busts upfield, gets separation, but it's still with Wilson. There's going to be a foul there. Yes, there is.
That makes a little bit more sense. Very surprised to see that disc come out that low. Wilson has had an incredible season himself.
Yeah, a premier receiver, premier thrower, premier player in the European circuit. Conrad Wilson can make life difficult for just about anyone he matches up with.
6 assists, 3 goals just this weekend. Like you say, some of those goals were absolutely skyscraping grabs.
Back in play, Conrad Wilson. He finds Justin Ford. Ford keeping it on the sideline, goes to Mead, and Mead goes central to Connor McHale. East comes under, and a bit of contact between Wallace, who somersaults back to his feet, no call of it. Love that. Hillman looked to go up line, it was taken away. Bontemps chasing behind Mead, and Mead looks back to center. Hillman's there, but still closer to this sideline. Fakes a whole bunch of lefty backhands and then gives one to Justin Ford. Ford kicks it right back into the hands of Hillman. Hillman faking everything, now back. Mead crosses field East all alone on that far sideline. Finally, Demarais comes and picks up the defense. He's on the mark. East chips off. They prevented the goal score, but still retain possession and are charging our Clapham. Mead goes around. Hillman fakes the backhand towards the goal and then gives and goes. Switch defensively again. Mead around. There's McHale, looks to goal. It's up, it's down. The toe drag swag. Wilson shows the disc, and that's another on the board. Make it 10-5.
Clapham doing such a fantastic job of cycling it through their handlers while continually setting up isolation, front of stack cutters to go there and try and time it off on the swing. You'll notice a lot of the times they get that swing back from one handler to the other. You can even watch it. Well, that's actually the little bit of acrobatic Wallace goes here, but as soon as McHale catches it, you can see him turning. That cut was going to come from the front of stack. There's Ford. He wants the quick pop back. Back across to McHale, and then they just finish it off. And Mooncatchers started to react. They started to throw in a couple of those switches on the handler movement. They started trying to clamp a little bit on the stack, but Clapham are just relentless and cycling through. You saw Briggs appear for a little while, as well as getting involved with Ford. Wilson was there to finish it off. McHale having an absolutely fantastic game for himself.
Speaking of fantastic games for Clapham right now, it's fantastic to have all you at home. I think we've got 1,300 some odd, 1,400 nearly. It's great work. We love that you guys keep coming back for more and more and more. And while you're back for more, what am I going to remind them to do right now, Lorcan?
Call their parents?
No.
Check their pensions.
Yeah, check your pensions. Like and subscribe, everybody. Hit that like button. Give us a like for us, for the players on the field, and for yourselves. You're one of us. De Luca with the disc. Oh, goodness, that was close by Rag, but Yonkers hangs on. Now we have Orlovsky's flippers over top and has Oczynski. Oczynski goes back to DeLuca. Desmarais to Delus. Deleuze finds Yonkers. And Yonkers to Oczynski. There's Deleuze. Yonkers. Yonkers sticks it. Desmarais going, there's a call. I think he had that separation already, to be very, very honest, but the pick is called.
With the throw that was put as well, that inside out leading flick throw, I don't think Clapham had much of a chance to catch that disc. But of course, when the pick is there, it's so hard to tell, because by the time we notice it, we're a few seconds behind the action, and it really does adjust what you're capable of on the defensive side. Plus, I'm pretty certain Rag would have gone for something athletic, and that's always entertaining to watch.
Yeah, so back in the hands of Yonkers, goes to DeLuca. DeLuca looked to give that backhand, then goes break side with a forehand. Desmarais looking upfield. Martin with some wild hand mark on. Oczynski. He zips it. Orlovsky's handles well with Modiano charging down. Yonkers. Bakeman's. That's a goal, a necessity goal. It's 10-6.
Great step through grab from Orlovsky's. When that throw went up, I thought it was going to become a little bit short, and it did to me look like some of those deep cuts a little bit mistimed. Bakeman's himself tried to get a deep cut off of a swing to Dan Desmarais, but he just went a little bit too soon, so it wasn't available. Corrected his timing when it came to finishing off that position and just attacking the front corner. So Mooncatchers still with a few things that they can tighten up. But first of all, they're going to have to tighten the screws on this Clapham offense. Try to get a few more breaks.
We see some viewers up in all hours of the morning from Seattle, US, watching this. So great to have a growing contingent of viewers across the Atlantic. Be part of us, like and subscribe, of course. But tell us, everybody else, where are you watching from in the chats? Let us know as we have another look at the Bakeman score there. Where are you watching from? I imagine there's people all over the globe watching this match right now, Lorcan.
I imagine a lot of the people in Belgium are currently watching it from behind their fingers.
And the best thing is, no paywall. They don't need a password, no login. Just click on YouTube. Free, easy. That's worth liking in itself. Hillman with a disc. Briggs comes back, charging towards the disc and gets it. Briggs with the under, finds Ford. Crowd firing up. Ford's hung it up. I don't know if I like that option with Orlovsky's, but it works! And it works for a goal. Wilson just playing Johnny on the spot there, outweighting the pack over everyone's head, and I think it's going to work.
I think that's Orlovsky's calling a foul on East.
So that might not work based on that. Is there... Let's have another look at this. Does East get into Orlovsky's? I
can see that to an extent. As he's coming down from his jump, he almost drags down Orlovsky's. I thought Orlovsky's just mistimed his jump, but that might have impacted it.
Bit of column A, a bit of column B. I don't like. Yeah, same. I think Orlovsky's was going up, maybe early, charging it a little early, but he's a huge man who can get up, and having East on his shoulder is preventative no matter what. Who am I to say Orlovsky's could not have got up and got that? Let's have another look. What do you think at home? I mean, East went up way early. I
still think Orlovsky's has mistimed that. He can get big, but I don't think he can get that big.
Yeah, but
where
East
he was trying
went
to attack that
so
disc.
early that Orlovsky's couldn't get up at all. And I mistimed. When you say mistimed, do you think he went up early or he was going up too late?
I feel like where he chose to attack the disc, considering he was in how he was going, he wasn't in a running jump. Sure, I think he can get that high, but kind of that back pedally standing jump, I don't think he can close that foot gap.
And we got differing opinions, as we would expect in the chat. Definitely a foul, not a foul. Foul for sure, or not.
That is the thing, like if it's a foul, then It's a foul, whether or not Orlovsky's could have set himself up a little better for that. So it's going to be contested and go back. I doubt Ford will resend that.
And we get, I love seeing people watching all the way from Seattle, and we get some chats coming in all the way from our green room. Benji Reese watching from the sideline. There he is, giving a wave and all. So back in the hands of Justin Ford. No goal to Clapham. Ford takes Wilson this time in the underspace. Wilson goes to Abrams. Abrams quick ahead to Ford. Ford fakes the quick and then gives it. And Briggs is there. Not quite as easy as the one throw, but still didn't take him that long either.
Just working it down the sideline. Big cuts coming from far away. I would have thought maybe even like Sofiane Bontemps might have been able to sneak in over a shoulder against Abrams, but Abrams just sets up the cut so well. There's never really an opportunity to get that block, and Clapham, relentless, ruthless, righteous.
Totally righteous, bro.
See, even with Briggs coming in there so quickly from so far away, that when they recognize the switch, the opportunity to poach in and try and stop it, it's too late. So 11-6.
11-6. Justin Ford there, goal and an assist. The long-time savvy veteran, the talisman of this club, still one of the big faces, maybe not the clear-cut most dominant player, but definitely in the conversation.
Well, it just goes to show how skilled and how deep a club Clapham marks. They are transitioning from Ford, who for a long time pretty undisputably the best player in Europe, and far from like Ollie Gordon, Tom Abrams, just real legends in stature, littered with gold over their legacies. But now you start to look at some of the leaders. I mean, it's more like Hillman, it's more like McHale. Yo has been taking on that role for several years, almost seems to be becoming one of the more elder statesmen on the team now. Alcock's on the way up. Like, they are transitioning to this next generation incredibly effectively.
Interesting rolling pull by Clapham there, rolled it out only towards the midfield mark, so a short field for the Mooncatchers to start things off. They'll take any advantage they can get right now. Orlovsky's goes to DeLuca. Now Bontemps. DeLuca throws low to Bontemps, and Bontemps finds Demarais. Faked the feed and then gives the feed to Bontemps. He laterally cuts up line, looking to Yonkers and finds a very tight space. Yonkers to Marek, and he can't handle it. And another turnover goes the way of Clapham. Tillman. Hillman throws to Martin coming under. Hillman again in his own end zone, leading throw, gets Alcock. Alcock fakes the forward, now engages Hillman. Throws far side, gets McHale. McHale winds up, looks like it's gonna work. Rollage on the chase, and another break. They're ruining everything, including 7-Eleven. It's 12-6. Clapham doubling up the Mooncatchers.
Yeah, there's no Slurpees available, but Clapham are putting this game on ice. Two Clapham defenders. That could have been Yo, that could have been Rowledge, who caught that deep shot, and right now everything is going right. And Conor McHale showing he is never going to hesitate, as we have another look at that. Bit of a throwaway, bit of a drop, but Conor McHale has had a few errors on some deep shots and has some great deep shots, but he's going to keep chucking them up there as they continue to use the full width or the full length of the pitch and make sure you respect every single threat. They've got so many threats.
I'm not sure Will Rollage didn't pull up a little gingerly after that goal there. I think he grabbed his hammy. Seems to be walking off now. There you see him, 3 goals. But there was a moment of discomfort. And there you see Conor McHale, 3 goals, 4 assists. How's that stat line?
And he's pulling double duty a lot. Like, you've seen him on the O-line, you've seen him on the D-line. It just goes to show you how much effort he put into his own game. and now doing it on both sides of the Atlantic.
Do you think Clapham remember the game at Elite Invite when they were embarrassed by Mooncatchers?
I think it hasn't entered their minds once in the past hour.
Yeah, I think, but the last 2.5 months, yes.
Oh yeah, several times over the last 2.5 months.
And that one lands in DeLuca's hands, and too far, first throw given away. This one is getting ugly, unless you're a Clapham fan. What a quick break, 13-6. Gardner cashes it in. This is just a one-sided affair right now. It is only Clapham out there, Lorcan.
I believe the term in Great Britain would be a little bit of a boat racing, something that Benji taught me as you have a look there. But it's been that story all game long. The Inches have been going against Mooncatchers, and they've just been moon bobblers for a lot of this game. And then Clapham with that ruthless efficiency. Remember, they did not win UK Nationals for the first time in the club's history this year. They lost to Chevy, and if I remember correctly, Mooncatchers fairly consummately dismissed Chevy this weekend. Yeah, beat them 15-8 in the quarter-final. Clapham coming out here and just saying, no, this is who we are, this is how we play, and this is the Clapham of old. They want their title back.
They definitely do. I've said a few times, a season to forget as far as Clapham goes. A season many would love to, silver medals, second places, going deep. But when you're Clapham, that is salt in the wounds, and losing to a similar opponent on many of those occasions really had to grind their gears, and here's them giving it all back. Oczynski with the disc goes to DeLuca, and now Bakeman's. Bakeman's inside to Oczynski. Oczynski to Bontemps. And Bontemps leads and just gets it in to the hands of Bakeman's. Demarais. And there's a bump on the mark, foul called by Demarais. He's not happy about it. Modiano pleading his case as to why it may have happened.
Oh, Gary got pretty close to that layout.
Yeah, not.
I think that was the throw before this one, the one that was to Bakeman's.
Not far off at all. That pressure stays hot and tight. Demarais will have it tapped in, and he goes back to Yonkers. Demarais gets it from DeLuca. Orlovsky's leads Bakeman's, and Bakeman's tries to drag the toe and can't stretch his body long enough to do both. And the catch evades him overhead.
It just seems like they've been an inch off. A buck short, shall we say, for our American friends who we welcome into this European finals stream. Because the things that make Moon Moon, they've just been miscommunicating, mistiming them, not pulling them off. Like that little casual flick from Orlovsky. How many times you see that, and then we lose our minds. Like, oh my God, they're at the highest level, but they're doing it their way, and right now it's all Clapham.
Day late and $1 short, Lorcan. It's just not working. Here is Modiano and his well-groomed mustache as he gets out of the end zone with a nice backhand around to Alcock. Nathan Ragg, the peroxide demon, goes to Alcock again. Inside to Knapp. Playing in their own end zone. Alcock once again. Alcock goes to Modiano. Modiano, bump on the mark, doesn't make the call, but does throw it away. Gives it back to the Mooncatchers. DeLuca picks up quickly. Thought he had a shot in the end zone. Takes it eventually. Demarais gets it. 7-13. It's a goal for the Mooncatchers. They're going to need a steep old run coming very soon, Lorcan. But they'll take the hold for now. They put the defense on the field.
Yeah, glad to not just let this game run out. At a point there, it looked like it might be ending 15-6. You can see Modiano He's going to absorb his contact a little bit, then rushes the throw to Alcock. Again, a closer game. Maybe there'd have been a bit more conversation about that contact. 6 points difference. Mooncatchers has been able to get one break so far in this game. It came at the start of this half where they brought back to 8-4, but there we just saw a 3-point run from Clapham. Eventually Moon able to stop the bleeding. What's left for them to throw out here against Clapham? What else can they turn to try and mount a comeback?
I mean, if they had any superheroes on their roster that they hadn't been using until late in the game, now would be the time to get them on the field, but I'm pretty sure the whole roster's got on the field, had their chance. It's magic time. I mean, we've seen that yesterday's game was a brain melter to see it happen, but this is even further separation. Clapham that much closer to finishing it, and Clapham that much stronger looking, just like they have been dominant. For them to be able to imagine that they could possibly crumble right now is hard to even put into your headspace, as Wilson goes up, and there's a turnover, just as we mentioned the low potential for failure.
There's going to be a call. The crowd doesn't like it, but contact on the throw.
Orlovsky's not sure he wants to accept it. Crowd definitely does not like that call.
There's the contest.
And here's another look. Ooh, I don't know. I'd have to see it again, but it looked like there was enough for him. It's because it was his foot. If there was any contact, you'd really feel it. He's kicking. But are they going to go back? I think we're coming back into play. Wilson's still got it in hand. Coming in on stall 4 from Orlovsky's. And Wilson goes to Abrams. Abrams gets Ford. Ford around and finds center. Josh Briggs with a disc. Briggs to Abrams. Abrams straight back to Briggs. Briggs launches. McHale's there. That one's on the money. And it is 14-7, doubled up upon. And it is very suffocating for the team in black right now. They are backed deep into a corner.
We've seen a lot of Clapham players take out some deep shots. Conor McHale, one of them. But for my money, when it's Briggs and you see him get into that power position and you see that flick available, it's going, and it's going accurately. Conor McHale, though, lighting it up. 4 goals, 4 assists. That time off the Josh Briggs outside in flick hook, and it just goes to show you how difficult it is. It's gap nigh on unsurmountable. Maybe I could do the greatest commentary curse of all time and give some room for Mooncatchers to come back into it. But yesterday, when we saw that semi-final, Mooncatchers managed to sucker BFD into playing their game, going for the outlandish, going for the highlight plays, entertaining everybody at home. And right now, Clapham has said, no, we're going to play our game, and we're going to beat you to death with it.
And they've done that effectively. 14-7. Game point available if Clapham can break. And they have proved capable of breaking.
Potential championship point.
Yonkers goes to Orlovsky's, and he gets DeLuca. Dan Demarais fakes the windup, goes and has nobody home. He's not happy. Martin goes inside. Alcock there. Alcock look to go around. Nobody home. Knapp. This could be it. Clapham championship point awaits them if they can find the end zone in the coming moments. On this possession, on this sequence, leading to Rag. Rag goes to Knapp. Feet are down. Clapham have won back their title in emphatic fashion. Knapp with the game-winning goal. Clapham are once again your European Ultimate Championship Finals champions in 2023. Lorcan, that was a show of domination.
The Frogs bowled their way back to the top of the mountain, taking what you have to consider is their rightful place after the performances they've put in all weekend long. It has been at times perhaps a frustrating season. We haven't looked at that final throwaway, really summing up the Mooncatchers game. They just seemed off target, off pace, and off put by the power of the Frogs. Couple of shout-outs. I mean, it's easy to talk about a lot of the major stat getters, which we did. I think Felix Martin was absolutely stellar throughout that entire game. I'm not sure if he actually picked up a stat, but he did pick up some of the major threats over and over again on that Mooncatchers side and was incredible in his performance against them. I think Alcock's got to take some credit there as well. Nathan Ragg, one of the captains of this Clapham side, the Peroxide Demon, the Peroxide captain, getting the deserved final assist. They came out with a game plan and they executed it. And they executed the Mooncatchers as well. So that is an impressive lead for Clapham. A huge win, 15-7. You've got to give it up.
So a huge victory for Clapham. This is exactly what they needed to rectify a season that I've been consistently saying will have felt like a disappointment. I have a feeling they will agree and say it has been a disappointing season.
I disagree. Just from how I spoke to them before the game, as we now have two people heading over to us, but this is meant to be a rebuilding year, and a rebuilding year in a sense from how they approach things strategically. I mean, they've got a lot of European titles. They want to be the best club in the world, and as Nathan Ragg was saying before the game, a huge part of that is how they adjust their approach to the sport. They figured they'd reached kind of the highest way they could on their previous strategy, so now it was all about what can they do differently, what can they start to expand, and this is the gestation stage of what they plan on being a world champion team. And all I can say after watching that is look out world, but look out everybody at home, because we are very lucky to be joined by Andrew Hillman here in the booth. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Congratulations on the victory. First of all, a few questions, but we'll start off. How's it feel to win back your title? Last year it was taken away, and you're back on top. Initial feelings?
Yeah, I mean, an amazing feeling. I think we've had a challenging season, so we knew that finishing it the right way was going to be a really big thing for us. Yeah, fantastic feeling. One of my most enjoyable tournaments with the team, particularly because we had the disappointment at Nationals, and then you have that process of having to bounce back and trying to use those kind of disappointments to make you stronger. So feels great.
Can I just ask specifically, it seemed like you came out a lot of the times with a zone-ish look for the first few passes of each possession, and what the motivation was behind that?
Yeah, well, we know that Moon have got some really expansive, terrific throwers, and they've got some really great deep receivers, so we're looking to take away those deeps early on, but also just to break their rhythm, just to show them some things where some players are open for a second and they're not, and then be able to transition into a different look. So it's about trying to keep them kind of uncomfortable and unsettled for as much of the possession as we can.
Seemed to have worked. You guys came out of the gates very, very hot. You gave up a hold and then went on a big run there, a hold and 3 breaks. Really taking control of the game early. Talk about your pre-game preparation this morning, where your headsets were to come out as hot as you did.
Yeah, well, we've kind of started some games a little bit sloppily. Like, we've played some really good intense defense. I think we knew that would be there from the beginning, but maybe haven't had quite the kind of calm, cool heads to start. So that was a big focus for us in this game. Thankfully, this was the game. We knew this was a game where if we started in the way we'd done in some of the other games, they would take advantage and it would be difficult. We've played against a team, we know that it's a difficult team to come from behind against. Yeah, and thankfully we were kind of on it from the beginning today.
Excellent stuff. I think we might congratulate you once more, call in your teammate Connor McHale. Thank you, Andrew Hillman. And I think Rag's got to force himself in here. He's got a shout out for us as well.
Yeah, this win is for the boys we left at home. Ian McInerney, we love you, man.
Fraser, Harry, Tyler,
Max is here.
Max is here in the final. We appreciate you so much. I'm so sorry you couldn't be here to share it with us, but we love you. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you, Nathan Ragg. And we've got Connor McHale, who had a very, very impressive game out there. You know your stat line yet?
Oh, no idea.
No idea. You had 4 and 4 in the goals and assists. Pick up a cheeky block. Okay, you had a turnover, but pretty nice on the score line. For you, talk about, I guess, the journey this season. Maybe I think I've portrayed it as potentially having moments of disappointment along the way this year, and to get to this point, get the victory. Talk a bit about the whole season, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. We're really fortunate playing for Clapham and having played for GB Open in the past that we've always come into tournaments and games as favourites, and it's pressure, but it's a different kind of pressure of knowing that if we perform our best, we will come out on top. And this year, it's felt like that's lacked a little bit at times. Playing with GB and Moon beat us 15-3 earlier in the year at EUF Invite. Be it with a short team, but still, like, that's an incredible performance from a top class team. And then they went and won Windmill, and so, like, coming into this game, it just felt very different. And we knew after that Nationals loss that we had a lot of work to do if we were going to come out and regain this title from Ranelagh. And I've been fortunate to be able to go and play elsewhere, but the boys I know have been at home for the last 4 weeks just grinding and working so hard, knowing that if we come out and use that and play our best, that we'll get this back. And I really think that's shown this tournament.
Excellent. I'll talk a little bit about your personal journey, but this common opponent, the rise of the Belgians over this year, that as much as they have maybe had your number or starting to give a feel that they have, where's the headset going into a game like this against the common opponent, knowing exactly who you're going to be matching up against, remembering some of those past results? Is there, maybe not vengeance, but how do you approach this, taking on those very detailed, particular matchups that you guys got to take on?
It's not only remembering; it's our management and our captaincy doing incredible work preparing for these games. Every night, having 30 minutes going through who we're going to be playing, who their key players are, having watched footage and knowing their tendencies, and us preparing meticulously for that. And we could see that out there today as an O-line, watching our D-line go out and absolutely crush it on those matchups. If we can make teams do something different, take them off their game plan, we know that we're going to have the upper hand. I genuinely think we're one of the deepest teams in the world. I think our bottom half, or bottom quarter, are just a level above the rest of Europe and even in the world. And I think that just lends so heavily to, if we can put pressure and make those top players have to do something different and have to use that bottom end of the roster, that we're going to come up on top.
Excellent. You are getting a good taste of what some of these teams around the world feel like, playing with Chicago Machine. Your first taste of that.
Yeah.
A quick little let us know how it feels. I mean, you had to rush back kind of to play this Euros with your team.
Yeah.
You'll be heading back over to Chicago. You've got a big tournament coming up there too.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be back. I wanted to shout out a massive thanks to the alumni who helped me get back here for the tournament. It's not cheap me being out there and competing, and so to Rich Harris, to both the Wilsons, to everyone who helped me get back here to compete, is a massive thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. And yeah, it's great. I'm really back to be playing with my boys. Like, it's 7 years now playing with this team, and you can't form those connections in a season. And I'm trying my hardest out there to do that, and it's a really high level to be playing at, and it helped me stay prepared for this. But being back and playing with these boys, it's just something else.
And that's what it's all about now. As much as we wish you luck along your journey over there,
thanks,
more than anything, congratulations on retaining the European Championship.
Thanks
here.
so much.
Go enjoy with your friends. And we hope we'll see you at the winners' party coming up just after these finals.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be getting.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to having you there. Thanks again.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Much appreciated.
There's Connor McHale, everybody. A incredible performance by him and the team in its entirety. Lorcan, not quite what we were expecting, but a heck of a final. If you're going to take back all the momentum, well, you might as well do it emphatically without a shadow of a doubt. Clapham, again, the best in Europe.
It's what they do. It's what they do so well. They have reclaimed their title. Of course, this was the only matchup where there wasn't somebody trying to defend their title, and we've got some action still to come to you today with the mixed, well, the women's and then the mixed finals, right, Steph?
Oh, it's all coming up. Next is Bologna taking on Jinx. That's Bologna Shout taking on Jinx in the women's division. And at 15:05, 3:05 local time, the mixed final will be Deep Space from GB taking on Grit from Netherlands. That's going to be all for the open final. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have a quick look at the game stats here. One last analysis of how that one unfolded. Lorcan, those stats look a little lopsided as well down the whole line, don't they?
Well, in my professional commentary opinion, I would, oof, is how I would describe that. Clapham.
Eloquent, Lorcan.
That's what I do, man. You called me a poet earlier on. I'm just like, yowza. But look at it, 8 breaks, the turns 14-7, literally doubling them up. Most of those turns as well for Clapham came from their D-line. I think off the top of my head it was only 3 that were actually from the O-line. And the clean holds, 5-4, makes it look fairly close, but when the Mooncatchers were able to score, a lot of it was from that clean holds, but it was few and far between, just so effective. Like Connor was talking about, the way they do their homework, the way they know their assignments, and yeah, they do rotate assignments on some of the key figures, but every one of those players coming on knows exactly what they have to do, knows exactly what their opponent is about to do and how best to counter it, even when they're switching in the heat of the moment, which we saw a lot as they tried to run that weave that won them that won the Mooncatchers the semi-final, that Yonkers Demarais weave, which DeLuca loves to get involved with as well. Clapham just had an answer for everything the Mooncatchers brought to bear, and it leads them right back to the mountaintop.
Yeah, Clapham coming up with all the answers. Mooncatchers coming up short this time after a great season. A big finish for Clapham before we conclude. And we're going to leave you with these final replays. Enjoy what's left for this wonderful team at ULTI.TV. And for my right-hand man here in this game, the wonderful Lorcan Murray, I've been Stefan Rabazzo. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Stay glued to your screens. More action coming up.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.